Welcome to Certainly Doomed Reviews. It's Katie,
It's Sam.
and that's it. Kurt and Corey haven't seen this movie yet, so we decided to do a little bit of a brother-sister special here.
It's a sibling podcast.
Sure. This episode is entitled Spoiler Man: No Way to Avoid Spoilers.
Where we're gonna spoil No Way Home, so
If you haven't seen it, you need to stop listening.
watch it.
It's most definitely a watch it.
If you haven't seen it, because most of the world's already seen it.
Yeah, if you've not seen it yet, we're going to give you about 10 seconds, and you're going to listen to this lovely little song we're going to provide. And that's all the time you get to stop listening, go see it, and then come back and finish the episode. All right. Here's your song. Enjoy. Okay. Spider-Man No Way Home. Holy shit.
Do we even need to do the synopsis?
I feel like for consistency's sake. With Spider-Man's identity now revealed, Peter asks Doctor Strange for help. When a spell goes wrong, dangerous foes from other worlds start to appear, forcing Peter to discover what it truly means to be Spider-Man. And this movie stars
Tom Holland, Zendaya, Marissa Tomei, Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx, Jacob Batalon, Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't even see him on this list.
They did not include him, which is shocking.
Thanks, Google. Also, special appearances from Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Charlie Cox, Thomas Hayden Church, and Reese Ifans.
Yeah, something like that. Can we just Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield? Holy shit!
It's Spider-Man Endgame.
It is. Holy crap! What a good movie.
Which this now I guess means the Raimi movies are in the MCU.
Yes.
So I guess Spider-Man 2 is not my favorite MCU movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so obviously this movie just came out, and it is 2 hours and 28 minutes long.
And directed by John Watts.
And damn, he did a good job.
Yeah, it's the best Tom Holland movie.
Yeah. I do think we need to start this episode off by issuing an apology to Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
Last episode, during Spidey Bells, we talked about how Andrew was our least favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah, we kind
of shit on him a little bit.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
Which I guess we should say he's the best part of those movies, and
it's not his fault. It's the writing.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. So, I'm so sorry, Andrew.
If you're somehow listening.
I doubt you will, but in the off chance that you hear this, our apologies. It's not your fault. You were the best part of those movies. They didn't do you good.
They did not. So I guess that leads to our next part. Should he get a number 3 now that we've had 2 Spider-Man trilogies? His kind of abruptly ended after number 2.
Yeah, he got gypped. You know what? I'm gonna say after his performance in No Way Home, yes, absolutely. However, and granted, it's been a little while since I've seen the Amazing Spider-Man movies. His Peter felt a little different in No Way Home. Not like horribly different, but
he's matured, I guess.
Yeah, which I mean, he went through some serious loss and had to grieve and actually take time to move on, and he talks about that a little bit in the movie, but I think he's better now. So I think if they keep up with the Andrew that we got in this,
yeah,
I could do a third movie.
Yeah, I'd love to see him be Spider-Man more after this. Some people have had the idea that they could have him and Tom Hardy's Venom crossover, which I would be okay with. I'm not the biggest fan of those Venom movies, but
I've not seen them yet, which I guess now I need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Also starring
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy and
Danny Rojas from Ted Lasso. That whole little clip, I was just sitting there like giggling because I'm like, football is live.
But when we get to our favorite part, my favorite interaction of Spider-Man the 3 Spider-Men is, them talking about their villains, and he's the only one that hasn't fought an alien, and just saying they could do that now,
They could.
and
It's set up.
that way you can have 2 different Spider-Mans and still make $1 billion with each Spider-Man.
It's true. Yeah, I gotta say, oh, I mean, okay, this isn't, I guess it could be my favorite part, but it's not the favorite part I was thinking of. We're talking about the 3 interaction or the 3 of them interacting. Then when they're, like, waiting for all the villains to show up at the Statue of Liberty and they're talking and just the how, like, I mean, it is like brothers having a conversation. It's so funny, and Toby just like, "You're not lame. You're amazing."
Yeah,
Just them, like, I don't know, the way they talk is great, and them in the lab together too. They did
yeah.
the meme where they pointed, and it was fantastic.
They do it twice actually,
Yeah, it's true.
when they, regroup after their things are going badly.
Peter 3!
Yeah, they really you can only see, I think, like, Toby and Andrew are pointing at each other, and
Yeah.
I think Tom might also, but they kinda do it twice, so but that's great that they do it and that you can it's very subtle, I guess.
It's great. Okay, Sam, so actual favorite part of the movie, like, hands down best part to you.
Um, is it's them talking about the villains they fought. Uh, I just love I fought a alien. He's like, "Oh, I fought an alien on Earth and in space."
You went to space?
Yeah, can we rewind that back to where you went to space and "Oh, I'm the lame Spider-Man. All I fought was a Russian dude in a rhinoceros machine." I don't know why, it's just the funniest thing to me.
Because we got to see them being themselves talking to one
Yeah,
another instead of like, here's the mission at hand and we're focused on this. It was actually them just having conversation and it cracks me up. Um I think, well, not think, I know my favorite part. And okay, first off, you people recording these scenes in the movie theater, stop doing that. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. However, for my benefit where I'm watching it on TikTok, thank you.
yeah,
Because I just showed Sam the clip, but the clip where the 3 of them run and jump and start swinging from the Statue of Liberty after they've regrouped, it just gives me absolute chills. I was telling Sam and, like, pointing it out as I watched, like, they still each have their 3 own individual swinging styles, and then when they, like, web together, Toby is the one that they, like, he launches them to keep going, which I think is fitting because he's the one that started Spider-Man.
yep,
Like, he's the first. And then one by one, you get them, like, flying up and doing the pose where the moon, like, silhouettes them, and then they land in their signature pose. And it's in order. You get Toby and then Andrew and then Tom, and it's just, ah. I have
it's
I
great.
have chills
Yeah,
talking about it right now. Like, it's so damn good.
yeah,
Um, Also, as we discussed, Andrew was not my favorite Spider-Man. When Ned and MJ are together and they open up the portals and Andrew comes through, I cannot get over how excited I was that it was actually
yeah,
happening. Like, well, let's face it, we all knew it was gonna happen. We did. But the fact that you're there in the movie theater watching it and there they are on the screen again, I just chills. Again, I'm pulling up my sleeves, Sam can confirm.
yeah. That's why I said Spider-Man in-game. That that sound of the portals, I can't remember who said it on Twitter, but they're like, "That is, like, the greatest, like, feeling ever in a movie theater now, whenever you hear that portal
Yeah,
opening
because
sound."
something awesome is about to happen. Yeah, I just, and even Chris, we grew up on Toby. The last episode we talked about how, like, our parents literally pulled us out of school to go see this first Spider-Man movie.
And then we got to skip school for Spider-Man
And
3
yeah.
to watch it twice.
So it just, those ones obviously have a special place in our heart for that reason. And so seeing Toby on screen again was just, I don't even have words for it. And it was so funny. We were sitting there watching it, and I sat next to Dad during the movie. And when they're in the lab, Toby is still in his youth pastor outfit, cool youth pastor outfit, and Dad leans over and goes, "Are they ever gonna put him in the suit?" And I leaned back and I kind of tugged at my collar. I'm like, he wears it underneath. And so then, like 2 minutes later, literally, Andrew's like, "So do you have a suit?" and Toby does the collar tug, and there's the suit, which I will have to find this video for you on TikTok, but it is hilarious. Some girl's like, "Here's my joke about No Way Home when they contacted Toby and Andrew." Toby's like, "Yeah, you get me 1 day on set in the suit and that's it. The rest of the time, I really don't care what you dress me like. That's fine. But yeah, I'm in." But Andrew is like, "Absolutely, yes, but I wanna be in the suit as much as
Yeah.
possible." It's
Yeah.
it's great.
And I know Andrew's a I mean, obviously, I think they're all big Spider-Man fans, but Andrew is a really big Spider-Man fan. It was just his inner dealings with Sony that kind of soured him on the whole Spider-Man thing, and I think they actually fired him because he spoke badly about his experience in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, if they hadn't written a bad movie.
Yeah. I had completely forgotten about this, but did you know MJ was going to be in the movie, but they cut her out like completely?
Did they really?
Yeah, I can't remember the actress who plays her, but there's like set photos of Andrew Garfield talking to a redhead thing.
Oh, wow.
So it's gonna set up MJ so when Gwen dies.
Which, I mean, that's the way that it I mean, that's the order.
Yeah.
Like, Gwen was his high school love, or high
Well,
school sweetheart.
college.
College? Was it
Yeah, they
college?
meet in college. That's why Liz Allen is.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Always forget about Liz Allen,
Yeah,
which is ironic
good.
considering that was my 5th grade teacher's name.
And my fourth grade teacher.
Okay, well, I guess my next question, Sam, is what was your favorite line?
Um,
We can do favorite funny line and favorite serious line if you want, because I have two.
well, it might come from the same person as much as I do love that interaction of the three. My favorite, probably because one of my favorite performances is from Willem Dafoe. I'm something of a scientist myself. Hearing that again was
Just
an absolute
fantastic.
delight. Also, the scene of him fighting uh, Tom Holland in the apartment and the strong enough to have it, too weak to take it
Yeah.
is he's just so
It's
menacing.
it's chilling. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly. Not to overuse the
yeah.
word, but it is. Okay, so
What's your favorite funny line?
favorite funny line? I think I have two. So first off is when Doctor Strange tells Ned, Peter, and MJ to Scooby Doo this shit, and MJ's like, "I know a couple of magic words myself, and one of them is please." And Doctor Strange, "Please, Scooby Doo this shit."
Yeah,
That one makes me laugh. But also, I really, really love, again, Statue of Liberty. The not to brag, but I was an Avenger. That's great. What
what
is
is
that?
that?
And then Peter 3.
Yeah,
Andrew just goes, "Is that a band? Were you in a band?" I freaking cackled. I mean, like, ugly laughed. Eh, I keep
yeah.
quoting it. That's like my go-to line already.
Yeah, I do love the Avengers line. I don't know why, but him saying Peter 3 is just the funniest thing to me.
It's the way he does it with his hands out. He's like, "Peter 3." Which I wish I mean, I kinda wish Maguire or Toby would have been Peter 1, Andrew would have been Peter 2, Tom would have been Peter 3.
But it
It
does
doesn't
it makes sense in the movie because Tom's the only Spider-Man that's worked on a team, so it makes
Yeah,
sense
it
that
makes
he's
sense,
calling
and
the
it's his
shots.
world.
Yeah,
So it makes sense, but I guess in that little, like, mildly nitpicky,
yeah.
I kinda wish, but at the same time, I get it. So it's not a big nitpick.
It's also kind of ironic that Andrew's Peter 3, but he's the only one that didn't have a
3rd movie. Ooh, burn.
I
Uh,
guess you could count this as his
his 3rd. It's a
yeah,
joint effort. Um, so my favorite serious line is when, Tom we're just gonna have to refer to them by their first names, it's too
yeah,
hard. When Peter we're gonna be Ned all over
yeah,
again. Peter? Yeah, Peter Parker. Still the same dude. Um, my favorite series line, so when Tom goes and it's after May, which that destroyed my heart for the record. Um, when he goes and he's sitting by himself and Peter or not Peter, Toby and Andrew come with MJ and Ned to find him, and they have the "with great power comes great responsibility." we haven't gotten that yet in the MCU movies. And so to hear it on screen was one thing, but to have it come from Toby and Andrew and I guess technically May too, but to hear it from the other two, it just really like it was even more powerful.
It was great to finally hear that in the movies, but my question now, I guess, is did Uncle Ben never exist in this universe?
Yeah, that's something I want to know is if there's a Ben or not.
I mean, they talk about, they heard those words the night their Uncle Ben died, but Tom never says that. Granted, I mean, in the What If show, in the Zombies episode, Spider Man appears and he says Uncle Ben, but that's also in an animated kid show.
Yeah.
So
Would
it
we really consider that kids show?
well, I guess that's fair.
Animated
Uh,
show. Yeah, I don't know. It just I want to know if Ben exists in the MCU.
so I guess that would be my least favorite part if we were to do a least favorite part.
It's just the no clarification on if Ben exists.
Yeah. I mean, he has a briefcase in Far From Home that says, like, has the
Yeah, that's
initials,
true.
but
So,
still,
I mean, I guess he does.
it just feels like
They like
he doesn't
skirt
exist.
yeah, they kind of skirt past it. Like here's a slight nod to him, but this is it. This is all you get.
We're never going to mention him by name.
Yeah, we're just not going to acknowledge
Yeah.
it.
Can I add another favorite line?
Yeah.
I'm a really good lawyer. As a big Daredevil fan, it was great to see Charlie Cox back. I'm so excited to see him.
I know. First off, I've seen like the first episode of Daredevil, which I know you're so disappointed at me for that. But literally, as soon as he showed up, not even when he showed up on screen, when I saw his cane,
Yeah,
I literally so we at the movie theater, it was my dad or our dad, me, mom, then Sam. I literally like shot forward in my seat and leaned over and looked at Sam. I was like, "Oh my god,"
yeah,
because I was more so excited for you, but it was also the fact that like it's literally everything is opening up.
yeah.
Like there are so many possibilities that can go on now because of this movie, and it's amazing. So with all those really awesome lines, obviously that ties into their acting. So I guess who had the best performance?
For me, I think we alluded to it a little bit earlier, but Andrew Garfield stole the show for me. He would,
Peter 3.
yeah, he was just so fun to see on screen, and I don't like I love Tom as Spider Man, and obviously I'll always love Toby, but Toby just kind of seemed like the chill older brother, and to,
Toby almost took the Uncle Ben
yeah,
position in this, which I mean they kind of needed after obviously Tom Peter lost Tony. He needed that kind of I don't want to say guardian role, but that like cool uncle or
mentor, I
yeah
guess.
that he can look to. So yeah, I mean Andrew did great, but
My other choice would be Willem Dafoe. As much as I love him in Spider Man One, he is so terrifying in this movie.
he is he I mean he I would like to say that he came off screen in the original Spider-Man and walked away, did his thing, and came back and took that role immediately. But he just like amplified it.
Yeah, I think it might have helped that he was like he's probably been thinking about it from 20 years now. I mean, like, all right, how would I do this better?
Yeah.
And then he just was even better.
But also like the comic book accurate outfit costume or whatever.
Yeah,
Freaking great.
it was a good idea to get rid of his dumb Power Ranger mask. I don't know what else to call it. I mean, I don't hate that mask, but it
It's so iconic, but it was also really nice to like have the classic like Green Goblin look and actually get
yeah,
his face because that man is talented in his facial expressions.
yeah.
Honestly.
It's so crazy seeing him switch from Norman and to Green Goblin.
He is yeah. Yeah, just wow. That's another one. I just don't have words for it. It's so good.
Even the scene where after they cure Doc Ock and Doc Ock's like, "How's it feel to know you'll finally be rid of your darker half?" And you can kind of see like his shoulders, like,
Tense up a little.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Well, it's that's another one. Alfred Molina was
He was also
perfect.
great. Yeah,
It's like he never left the role. He did a great job. Okay, so best performance. I feel like maybe it's a little cliche to say, but I mean Tom really came into his own in
Yeah,
this movie. I mean, he did a phenomenal job in this. And it's not that he's been bad in any of the other Marvel movies that he's been in, but he really just like you can see how much he has grown as an actor since he
yeah,
started in the MCU. And the just some of the expressions he was giving and like especially at the end when like he's like I'm going to kill him, I'm going to kill him. I mean you believe him. It wasn't just a, oh yeah, he's doing a good job acting. He's going to go get him. Yeah, you get him. It was literally I'm so just focused on that emotion and it was almost hard to watch because like it's the same thing from watching the other ones. It's hard to see, one of your favorite heroes get that like vengeance filled look on their faces. And so Tom just did a really good job.
he did. Him just saying he wanted to kill Goblin was great. I mean, everybody gave a great performance. I don't hate anybody in the movie
Yeah, I mean
or
honestly.
dislike really.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean literally I don't think there's one performance that I would have wanted to tweak at all. And I know we talk about how, a lot of the Marvel movies are the same and, it's the same plot line and everything else. And the characters start, to kind of become a little one dimensional or two dimensional, however you want to word it. But I really feel like they did a great job with this. We started to see like MJ soften up a little bit because I mean she's a blast. I love her being this like moody, rude teenager. But it was nice to see her have this like soft side and actually get a little emotional. And again, Tom, just the way he changed throughout this. I don't know. It just this honestly, this might be my favorite MCU movie after watching it. I need to
Yeah,
see it again to confirm, but it was just so incredibly well done. And Endgame is not the greatest of movies. I mean, it's really not.
yeah. As a standalone movie, it does not work. Same thing with this one, I would say.
Yeah, you need the others to watch beforehand. But, Endgame, like I said, not the greatest of movies. However, it's like a giant love letter to the fans, and that's what makes it good. So, but this one, even though like we got the big nostalgia points of there's Toby, there's Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe and just, all the originals that we saw before and Andrew and yeah, just all of that. I don't know, they just did something really good in this. And I think one of I forgot this in favorite parts, but the very end when, Peter's lost everything. Like
Yeah,
he's no longer, and I'm gonna quote unquote here, he's no longer Iron Man Jr. Like he is now full fledged Peter Parker. He is Spider Man living on his own. He has to figure it out on his own. And you get the clip of the fabric laying at the sewing machine. And I got so excited for that because that is Peter.
yeah.
He is making his own webs. He's now created his own costume. It's no longer the,
Stark suit or Iron Spider.
or the like sweatsuit costume he started off with, which was great. I still
Yeah,
love that too, but he's no longer like relying on the things that he was given. And now granted, I will defend him and say he didn't ask for all that stuff. And I know a lot of people get nitpicky about that, but again, it's not like Peter went and knocked on Tony's door. It was like, please give me your technology. And in this one we get Peter being as smart as he is. Like it showed off even more than the other two. I mean, the first one they did a pretty good job of showing that Peter Parker is a smart kid. The second one we kind of fall off that a little bit because it's summer vacation. We don't really dive into it too much, but you get more of it in this, and I really, really love seeing that side of it because he is smart as hell. So smart as hell, Peter. You've got him making his, talking about his web cartridges and everything else, which that was a
yeah.
fantastic
That
scene.
great.
And then him now making his own costume, which I really need to see this costume in all of its glory. I am so excited about that damn costume.
Me too. I'm I'm so excited.
It just as much as happened in as much that happened in this movie, it still left you at the end of it with a feeling of hope, even though, we lost May, we lost Ned, we lost MJ, and, we've got Peter who's having to figure all this out on his own now. Him with the new costume swinging through New York City at the end, it did. I'm like, "He's got this, it's gonna be okay. Things are gonna work out the way they're supposed to." So, it was a nice little bow on the present at the end there.
It was. It was great to see him come into his own, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if he's gonna work for Jameson in the next movie
Ooh, yeah.
because
Everybody forgot who he was.
and it would be yeah. So with Marvel and Sony are planning the next trilogy for Spider-Man. What
Yes.
characters would you like to see?
Ooh.
So I got a couple I would like to see him interact with.
Uh, I think it'd be cool to actually get a Gwen Stacy in this universe.
Same.
Um, so I would be excited to see her. But my number one, as I hit the table the mic's
Was
on,
so
I'm so excited.
exciting.
I was literally just so excited. I was flailing about. I really want to see Felicia Hardy. I
Yeah,
want Black Cat.
that
I am such. I'm gonna. I can't believe I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna sound like a Gen Zer. I am such a simp for Black Cat. I don't even care. I fucking love Black Cat. Can I tell you when I was playing through the Spider-Man game on
yeah.
PS4, I literally like screamed when she fucking showed up. I was so excited. Yes, I need some Felicia Hardy in my life.
That would be great. I hadn't really thought about that.
Originally, like I thought we were gonna do this question as like what
Villain.
or what Spider-Man do we want to see next, and I was like, oh, Spider-Gwen would be kind of fun, like in real life. But then when we talked about it again, and we are like, Spider-Man character, I was like, Black Cat.
Yeah,
I, like cracked out a little bit because I got so
yeah,
excited.
yeah. I definitely want to see Gwen Stacy, and I would also like to see Harry Osborn and Norman appear in the MCU version
Oh yeah.
because that'd be interesting to see how Peter reacts to that, knowing the knowledge he knows now about.
Yeah, my only wonder with how that would work is that, when Norman comes in, he says there's no Oscorp here. So
That's
maybe
true.
Oscorp is on the rise,
Yeah,
or Norman's trying to get it started. So
it's
I mean, I guess
possible.
that's a way that they could do it, because I think they're gonna have to fast forward a little bit, so we're gonna get a college-aged Peter now,
Yeah,
and maybe just a couple years in the future.
because I think by the end of the movie he's technically still like a senior in high school because I think in his box when he's moving in, he's got a GED
Yeah,
test.
which I've seen some stuff, but one of the biggest things, and I'll kind of circle back to this in a second. Um, watching this movie, it's hard to remember that this takes place directly after Far From Home.
Yeah,
And so sometimes I struggle a little bit with that because I'm like, is this literally, it's just a continuation? And so, especially at the beginning, you have to remind yourself, okay, Peter's still in high school. Like, this is still the same Peter that we just finished off watching. But by the end of it, it's like, he is no longer a high school boy. He is a man. And I think some of that comes from, dealing with the trauma that he's been through. Like, trauma does age you. It does. It
yeah.
changes your mentality and the way that you work. So he is no longer a boy, but a man.
He is now a Spider-Man.
He
You could
is.
say
What are you, a spider boy?
Spiderling. I would be excited to see Black Cat, and now that the symbiote is in the universe, maybe.
Ooh, yeah.
Uh,
We need a real Eddie Brock. A
yeah,
good Eddie Brock.
yeah. Well, that'd be interesting if they're gonna do an Eddie Brock in this universe, because that would be weird to have Tom Hart. I guess they could just
Well,
recast Tom Hardy as
well,
Eddie
Tom
Brock.
Hardy went back to
That's true.
his universe, so now, and I mean, obviously, we've got a billion other Peter Parkers, so surely there's an Eddie Brock in this universe.
Yeah.
And
And
as long as it's not Topher Grace, I'm sure he'll be great.
it's true.
Topher Grace was not the right casting for that. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. I've read online that Sam Raimi was because they really Sony wanted Venom in the movie and he didn't, so he cast the worst person for it. And to be like, see, we don't need Venom, and they're like, it's great, we love it. I don't know how
They
true
didn't
that
even
is, but
try. I
uh,
hope so, because if so, that is, like, the pettiest move in the world, and it's
yeah.
great.
Well, it's the same thing with, like, the original Blade Runner is the studio wanted a voiceover, so they got Harrison Ford to do that, and he was like, "This is dumb, you don't need a voiceover," so he gave the most dry, bland, terrible voiceover ever, and they
Harrison
still used it in the movie.
Harrison Ford just gives no fucks.
Yeah,
I aspire to be like that when I'm older.
but back to the question I asked, actually, I'll go back to the Venom thing, they did set up Scorpion in the, Homecoming, which would be great to actually see Scorpion in a movie, but
Yeah,
also in the comic books, Matt Gargan wore the, uh, Venom symbiote for a while, so that would be fun to see, I guess, if they don't wanna recast Eddie Brock.
yeah.
Um, but I would love to see Kraven the Hunter in a Spider-Man movie. I don't think it's gonna happen now because they cast Aaron Taylor Johnson in a Kraven the Hunter movie, which is
Yeah,
the weirdest thing ever.
so is this, like, Marvel like, actual MCU, or is it
I have no idea.
okay? Because
'Cau
Pietro's coming back, but he's not as fast, so yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I have mixed emotions on this,
same.
because Kraven the Hunter is fucking great.
He is great.
It just makes me wanna watch, like, the animated Spider-Man TV show
Same.
from the '90s.
Let's see, is there I'm trying to think, are there any other characters I would love to see? I'm drawing a
Uh,
blank. No,
I think I would actually like to see maybe Ned grow into the Hobgoblin role.
that would be interesting because he seems so opposite of that.
Of course, he's magic now, so
As well, he doesn't remember that though.
oh, yeah, it's true.
I guess maybe he could
Damn it.
yeah, I mean, I guess if he somehow got his memory back, he could be angry at Peter
Well, hell
for
yeah, for not coming back to him. And which MJ still wearing her Black Dahlia necklace at the end.
oh, she was? I didn't even
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah, she's still wearing the necklace even though she doesn't know who Peter is anymore. Sad. Also,
Yeah,
that scene of them in the diner at the end, I'm I mean, obviously I'm sad that Stanley is no longer with us, but I'm really sad because that diner scene would have been the perfect opportunity to have him in there.
yeah.
Having old man Stanley sitting at the diner with them talking and back in my day, we had a different Spider-Man.
Yeah, or he could have been the owner of their shop or
Yeah, just something. Could have chalked him up to being a crazy old man. What do you mean there was a different Spider-Man?
yeah, oh, that would have been great because then it would have been like basically like a reference to the Spider-Man game, which there are a couple of references to the game anyways in the movie because I guess Tom Holland played it in between
Yeah.
filming.
He tried to incorporate some of the poses and stuff. I saw that interview.
Yeah, when he's fighting Goblin in the apartment and he like does the thing where he like kicks him up into the air and then slams him down
Yeah.
laughing. That's from the game,
Yep.
so which I love that. So,
So any other characters?
um, since they might eventually be setting up uh Miles Morales, I'd love to see because he was also in Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's nice we see Donald Glover as Aaron Davis again,
Yeah.
Miles' uncle, because he plays the or is the Prowler in the comics. So
I feel like there was a really good opportunity to set up like introduce Miles in this, and had there actually been a scene where like Peter was helping May at Feast, and maybe Miles and his mom are there like volunteering, and Peter and Miles could have had a little interaction, and Miles yeah, my mom makes me come and volunteer. Granted, he probably would have been like 10 to 12 years old at the time. He would have been young, but I could see that working for his character, so at least they would have started to form a bond without it being too forced. So I kind of wish we had had that, but who knows, maybe it's a deleted scene that we didn't get.
maybe it's possible. It, I don't know if this is true or not, but people from work believe the footage of Sandman and Lizard turning back into their human forms.
Oh, it was just pulled from the last or the
Yeah,
other movies.
like the Sandman footage just basically looks like the him forming scene, but like in reverse.
Yeah, I think I saw that too. Um, my one little thing I was gonna circle back to before I forget about it. So, Ned and MJ are going to MIT. They got in. And we know that Riri Williams, Ironheart, is getting her own TV show. Well,
It's true.
she goes to MIT. So, I think it would be a cool way to tie those in. Maybe we get a little bit of Ned and MJ at school in the TV show.
It's possible.
So, I think that would be kind of neat. I don't know that it's going to happen. Of course, with Marvel, you never know.
Yeah, I think Zendaya said she's done after this movie, but that also could be a I want more money
Yeah.
contracting thing. Same thing with Tom Holland saying he wants to take a break. I mean, he probably does because he filmed Uncharted and then this back to back.
Dude's been working.
He had like a week. He filmed Uncharted first and then this, and he had like a week break in between.
Yeah. I
Which,
mean, he deserves time to rest. Like,
yeah,
any of them do. I mean, the fact of the matter is they're doing a job. And it's just like us normal people working a 9 to 5. I deserve a day off too,
it's
just
true.
like they do, even though they make significantly more money than I do. But everybody deserves the chance to like rest and relax and recoup and, just be able to function again without being exhausted 24/7. So, yeah. Well, we have anything else to add?
Oh, and another thing I would like to see. I just thought about, or I had thought about it, and then forgot about it completely when I was blanking earlier. I would love to see Spider-Man finally fight the Kingpin in live action.
Yes.
And now with spoilers for Hawkeye, Kingpin being in it, confirmed to be Vincent D'Onofrio,
Yeah.
and now also having Daredevil back. Great time to have them team
And
up and fight against Kingpin.
yeah, and the end of No Way Home is during Christmas time.
And they swing
And
by the big tree.
and we have Rogers the Musical signs. So I guess we will find out in the finale.
Comes out tomorrow, when time of recording.
Yeah. It's Tuesday the 21st. Tomorrow's the 22nd.
Way to break the illusion.
Sorry, we do
Well,
this a
I
lot.
guess I broke the illusion first.
Yeah.
But
Yep. First off, tomorrow 22nd. Happy birthday, Kurt.
yeah, happy birthday, Kurt.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Also, just more Yelena. I need more Yelena in my life.
She's great.
Been trying to practice my Yelena impression. It's going okay.
You want to give it a shot on air?
Which
So you
line?
have,
Which line should I do? Okay. Great plan. I love the part where I almost bled to death.
Not bad.
It's a work in progress. Just the arm and the hair and the. You're a poser. It's a fighting pose. You're a poser. The whole thing. She's just great. She's a mood.
She's the best part of the Black Widow movie.
Yep.
'Cause there's not a lot of great parts.
They didn't specify which Black Widow it's about.
That's true.
All right. Is this where we sign off?
I guess so. I don't really have anything else to say besides
Yeah.
watch this movie.
Yeah, please just go watch it, guys. You're gonna freaking love it. I mean, honestly, it is just fantastic. It's really a lot of fun. So, even if you aren't the biggest MCU fan, but you loved the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, you will enjoy this. If you are an Andrew Garfield simp, like most of his fans, I've used that word twice now in this
Yeah.
episode. You're gonna enjoy it. It's a very, very fun movie, and I am dying to go see it again already.
I would like to see it another time. Probably a few more times, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I could watch this one over and over again and be happy. So, all right, everybody. Well, with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye, and yeah, enjoy Spider-Man: No Way Home when you get the chance to see it.
Should they keep the home thing up for the next trilogy? I know I'm stringing on this last minute, but I would like them not to do the home thing.
Yeah, they need a new one. Because, I mean, they can't be like Spider-Man homeless,
Yeah.
Which I guess he kind of was in this one, but.
Yeah. I think they should use the title Spectacular Spider-Man.
Ooh, especially with that suit.
Yeah.
Do it, Marvel.
Because we can't use Amazing Spider-Man. But
it's taken.
I guess, I mean, there's the show Spectacular Spider-Man, but still,
Yeah.
that show's also great.
Alright, everybody. Go watch Spider-Man. Tell us how
Watch
much
it.
you love it, and enjoy our, awesome logo we made for this episode. Alright, bye, everybody.
Bye.